Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to be making a wild rice salad that's going to go with our salmon. So I have the wild rice cooking on the stove. It takes a little bit, so we're going to wait till that's done, and then we'll come back and put the whole thing together. But inside the wild rice salad, we have some pumpkin seed, we have some dried cranberries, we have some squash, just frozen squash you can get at the grocery store, and a bit of sunflower seed. We're going to chop a bit of spinach into it. Literally use what you can get your hands on. You know what I mean? If you don't have pumpkin seed, use something else. You don't have dried cranberries, add something else to it. It doesn't have to be exactly how I'm making it. You can have your own version, your own spin on this exact same salad, but use ingredients that are close to home for you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to make is going to be a maple vinaigrette. So vinaigrettes are super, super easy to make. It's literally 4 ingredients. We have mustard. We have vinegar. I'm just using white vinegar. You can use, white wine vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar. You can use, red wine vinegar if you wanted to. So you can make this dressing 100 different ways depending on what vinegars and stuff you're using. So the vinegar, I have maple syrup. And then for this, I have some sunflower oil. And then we're just going to season the dish with a bit of salt, and we'll check the sweetness of the maple just by tasting it. We do it to taste. Okay, so for this, we add our mustard to the bowl, and we need the Dijon because this is an emulsifier, they call it, because you can't really bring 2 liquids together that don't belong together. So we use the mustard as sort of like a binder. Okay, so our mustard in there. Usually when you make a vinaigrette, it's 1 to 3. So it's 1 part vinegar to 3 parts oil. So I have my vinegar. I'm just going to mix this together. Okay. And then this is where we start to add our oil. Okay, so we add it in just a little bit at a time, just so we don't split it, and we make what's called an emulsification. If you ever go to a grocery store and you see some of the vinaigrettes they have there where it's split, they have the vinegar on the bottom and the oil on top, it's because it's not emulsified properly. Really hard to nail. Once again, so you're just adding a little bit at a time, just until it comes together. A little bit more. A little bit more. Just a little bit more. Okay, so if you can see inside, see how it's come together, nice and thick like a vinaigrette. Okay, all we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna season the dish with the maple. We want to have a good balance of the vinegar, the mustard. I'm just going to start to season it a little bit, so a little bit of salt. And this dish is going to need a decent amount of salt because we have the wild rice, we have all these ingredients going in there. Okay, so now we taste. So I think it needs more. A little bit too acidic. Once again, do this to your taste. If you like your vinaigrettes a bit sweeter, or if you like them, with a bit more of that vinegar to it, you don't have to sweeten it as much. Just a little bit more salt. And then once again, we do one final taste. And that's perfect. Okay, so there's our vinaigrette for our salad. If you wanted to, you could add, chopped sage in there, chopped thyme. You could take it to another level and add herbs into there if you wanted to. Or if you wanted to, you don't have maple syrup, you can use honey. You know what I mean? The ingredients are pretty interchangeable depending on what you have. Okay, so now that our wild rice is cooked, I simply just boil this. I don't cook mine until it's mush. I boil mine until it starts to pop open. I still like my wild rice to have a bit of bite and a bit of texture to it. Okay, so our wild rice is cooked. I'm gonna add sunflower seeds, and once again, this is to your liking. You know what I mean? If you like sunflower seeds, add a whole bunch of sunflower seeds to it. If you don't like it, don't add so much. We want sort of like a, an equal balance of all the ingredients here. Okay, sunflower seeds. Add a bit of the dried crayons. Okay, a bit of pumpkin seed. Bit of squash. And then next thing I'm going to do, I have all my ingredients mixed in here. I'm just going to use some spinach, just give it a quick chop. It doesn't have to be spinach. We usually use dandelion greens for this. Your salad, like I was saying before, I just chop the spinach up. You don't even have to do that if you don't want to. You can just add it in whole. You can tear it with your hands if you want to. You don't have to really use a knife. All I'm going to do is I have our vinaigrette. I'm going to add all of our vinaigrette to this. It may seem like a lot, but what happens over time is the rice absorbs the vinaigrette. Okay, so give this one a good mix. And then just one last time, I'm just going to check for seasoning. Let's get that. Yep. This is a nice, easy lunch. Dinner if you wanted to. We have our wild rice salad with our, our maple glazed salmon. Very simple, very easy lunch. Dinner if you want. Or some greens or something on there if you want to do for dinner. Cool.